traditional Norwegian monkfish stew. So I hope you're excited for this one. It's gonna be delicious and very Norwegian. In order to make this, we will need about a leek as well as 6 carrots or so. Also gonna be using quite a bit of sour cream. We have almost a kilo's worth here, about 900 grams. 2 pounds for you American freedom lovers. We also have half a kilo's worth of mushrooms and that delicious monkfish broth that we made on day 1 of this challenge. In addition to this, we're also of course going to be using monkfish. We have some fresh monkfish that we cut up this morning. So in addition to this, of course, we're going to be using a little bit of butter. That is the tradition and the spice of our people, salt and pepper. So first of all, we're going to be frying up that monkfish a little bit. Here I have my mother here doing the work today. Finally, she didn't want to be in camera today. So we're going to be frying up the fish here. And not much, we just want the fish to start releasing some of that delicious liquid out there. So we're going to do about medium heat and we're just going to cook them on each side for a couple of minutes. As you can see, we have quite a bit of monkfish here. I think it's almost 6 pounds or almost 3 kilos. So we're also going to be adding a little bit of salt and pepper, as I said, the spice of our people, especially the salt. And now we are ready to fry up that monkfish. We're going to turn it after about 2 minutes and we're going to add a little bit more salt and pepper on the other side as well here. After that, we're going to take it off and we're going to move those to the side for now. We're going to be adding them back into the dish a little bit later. But for now, we're going to be taking this off and we're going to be using the liquid from this fish in our stew. So we are doing this in a few different rounds here since we're making so much. But I'm going to put together a smaller recipe for you guys. You can check it out in the video description. I'll have a link to my website right there with the instructions and all. Alright, so we have all our fish here ready. So the next operation is that we're going to be cooking up our stock. We brought out quite a good variety of sour cream, but any should do. So we're gonna add about 50-50 sour cream and our monkfish stock to this. If you don't have the monkfish stock that we made on day 1, you can definitely just use regular fish broth or fish stock as well. Now we're just gonna incorporate it into that fond that we took from the fish. And we're also gonna be adding in our monkfish broth. Since we have 900 grams worth of sour cream, we're going to be adding in 8 or 9 deciliters worth of that delicious monkfish stock here as well. So next we're going to be tasting it up a little bit. We're going to be adding a little bit of salt and pepper. That is of course going to be to preference. Just remember, adding too little is probably better than too much because you can just add more afterwards. So my mother here has deemed that the stock was not very salty, so we're going in with a lot of salt there. And of course, we are from Norway, so it's natural extra saltiness as well. We are a country of high blood pressure and lots of salt. Alright guys, so optional step here. If you like your sauce to be a little bit thicker, as you can see, it is a little bit watery, but this is fine. But if you like it a little thicker, like my mother does, we're going to be adding a little bit of starch in there. We're going to use some cornstarch to thicken it up. You can add a tiny bit of that if you want to thicken up the sauce, but again, optional. So next up, we're going to put the fish into our stew. So we're going to be boiling this for quite a while now. We put it at a low simmer here, as you can see, and probably up to half an hour. We have like a plan that we're going to boil some potatoes on the side as well, so that they finish up at the same time. So we're going to be peeling all the carrots here. We're using quite a bit of carrots, as you can imagine, about a pound's worth. So yeah, quite a lot. We're going to be peeling them. As you know, it's sacrilege to me, but I mean, I'm not going to be the only one eating this. By the way, if you're looking for a good peeler, I can recommend this one. Link in the description if I can find it. So next up, we're going to be cutting up our leek here. So I'm going to be slicing it apart first of all. Chopping up some vegetables. We're going to chop the carrots up here quite thin, about 0.5 centimeters thickness or so we can boil them. And as you can see, we are a Victorinox family here. Next up, we're going to be chopping up some leek here. And as you can see, we're chopping it up quite finely as well. We went with 2 leeks instead of 1 because this is quite a big pot. We're also going to be chopping up some mushrooms here. As you can see, we have quite a lot of them. So we took off the stems of them, but that's not essential if you like the stems. So just quartering them up. These are pretty small, so I think we would say about less than 1 centimeter for sure here. Alternatively, you could also use an egg chopper, maybe a little bit faster. So we are finally ready to throw all our eggs in here. So we're gonna slowly but surely. And then you said that you want to boil up some potatoes at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And the potatoes should be done at about the same time as the entire stew here then. So about 20 to 30 minutes. We're gonna let it sit and simmer now. As you can see, it's thickening it up just a smidge here, and it smells deliciously. So you can see here the pot is slowly boiling up here. And like we've talked a little bit about earlier, monkfish is excellent for making stews and grilling because it's so firm, so it's not going to fall apart. But I mean, you don't want to be super aggressive in the pot. But yeah, excellent fish. All right, so we are ready to eat here. We have the whole family. I'm not going to show you on camera, but even the cat is ready. So let's give it a little bit of a taste test here. It looks super delicious, nice and creamy. Cheers to that. That hit the spot, and everybody's sitting and looking at me. Super good, guys. I'm gonna put together a recipe in the video description if you want to make this yourself with proper measurement, not for this huge portion that we made. Anyway, thank you very much to my mother for helping out. See you in the next one tomorrow, where I'll make another monkfish dish. Tap it here if you want to see that, and I'll see you there.